We knew it'd be a tightly contested game. This is a rivalry game. It's a sellout crowd for the first time in almost 2 decades. New Mexico finds a way to get it done, 38-20 over New Mexico State. Through the first 3 quarters, this was a tightly contested game. It felt like momentum was going back and forth. Lobos pulled away in the fourth quarter, but kudos to for the Aggies for keeping it competitive, mostly throughout. Had the Lobos on their heels a little bit in the start. A couple mistakes from New Mexico. They realized in the first half that they weren't going to be able to run the ball they wanted to. Came back in the second half with a completely different game plan. Start airing it out. Jack Lane finished with 300 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Great game from him. Scottre Humphrey and Bankston, McKinney, they weren't able to run the ball the way they wanted to. Had a couple crucial runs to extend the drive, but when in doubt, they came up big in the passing game. Keegan Johnson put up 117 yards receiving, a touchdown. John Miller had 80 yards and a touchdown, and Scottre Humphrey came through with a big reception for a score. To really put the Lobos well ahead. Defensively, New Mexico State did a great job. Had a scoop and score early on to go up 10 points on the Lobos. Even going into halftime up 17-14, New Mexico State well within themselves. The third quarter that the Lobos decided that the running game wasn't going to work, and they started passing. And they couldn't be stopped. Lobos score touchdowns on their last 3 possessions, pull away, 18-point victory. It was a much closer game than it had to be. A fumble for return for a scoop and score. Incredibly badly timed, muffed punt gave the Aggies position and great field position, but just a couple mistakes on Lobos' part that definitely made the game closer for the first 2-3 quarters. Second half, they tightened it up, got more discipline, found a way to get the ball to the guys, the playmakers. As far as the crowd, it was an insane crowd, 37,000 plus, sold out event. First time in 20 years almost, since 2007. Huge celebrities. They had ISO Speed, they had John Jones, they had Holly Holm, just local NM star power, great atmosphere. I think through the first half, there was probably maybe 10,000 people still trying to get into the stadium. Just that's how crowded it was, and no one was expecting quite that atmosphere. A great, well-deserved win for the Lobos against their in-state rival at home in front of a sold-out crowd with a lot of star power. A lot of celebrity faces. Lobos moved to 3-1 in the season, 2-0 at home as they begin conference play next weekend. Confidence is high. Morale is high for the Lobos right now, as it should be. It's going to get really interesting as they start to take on some serious talent in the Mountain West. As for the Aggies, they're 2-2 on the season, 0-2 on the road. I think they're going to be decent once they start Conference USA play. They're a team that, they're scrappy, definitely limited in some skill positions, but, they're scrappy. I think their defense plays good enough football at times, and I think their passing game, works on most teams, not the Lobos. They have their moments. 38-20 is your final score. New Mexico over New Mexico State.